The question is, can you be a good scientist and believe in God?
As long as you don't take the God into the laboratory. As a very famous biologist said, when I go into the laboratory, I become an atheist, because when I twiddle the knobs in my experiment, I don't believe there's some angel affecting the results of the experiment. And if I believe that in the laboratory, why should I believe it outside? Some people choose to believe it outside. The minute they take it into the laboratory, they stop being good scientists.
But that's actually quite contrary to history. I mean, what got modern science going in the first place was a belief in the faithfulness of God, of a creator who'd made a rational creation. And a good case can be made that the reason why science as we know it, modern science, grew up in the West was in part because Christianity, in its philosophical and theological viewpoints, including the belief in God and in God's faithfulness, served as a kind of hospitable environment in which that science could grow up. So it's actually not the case that the scientists of history had to say to themselves, I'm going to become an atheist when I go into the lab. Many of them went into the lab precisely because they were not atheists.
But I get the sense, though, that the other side is arguing that as science progressed, as the years went by, the more that science developed and the more that scientists knew, the more tempting atheism became for them because of the volume and because of the discoveries and because they found inconsistencies. What about that? Do you want to take that to Susan?
Well,
they knew too much after a while.
I think there's a presumption that science explains the material world, and science does it with material explanations.
Do you agree with that? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Physical causes have physical...
Okay,
exactly.
Go on, Dinesh.
So it is a presumption of modern science, not a proof, but a presumption that beyond the material world, there is nothing. So take, for example, the fact that as humans, we experience consciousness. We know that there's something in us, consciousness, that can't be reduced simply to materialism.
How do you know that?
Hold on a second. No, hold on a second. When you say, how do you know that, you're presuming that it is. Do you agree that the cause of consciousness is not known?
The fact that something is not known does not imply it's God. You better not get
right,
that
but neither. So consciousness is an immaterial thing that may have a material explanation, and the key word is may. And yet you as a scientist believe it does.